8,000 RPM. It's a good piece and it does help with traction.
All right, we're back at the 2022 NHRA US Nationals. Racers are coming from far and wide to participate. Stock and super stock, my favorite categories. And I'm checking out this stocker, 69 Nova, all the way in from England, Mr. Dan Williams. Dan, how you doing?
I'm good, Bobby. How are you?
Excellent. Dan, tell everybody what part of England you come from.
Right in the middle, a place called Northamptonshire, right in the middle of England.
All right, now Dan, all the way out in England, this is about as American muscle-ish as you can get. I mean, where did you find this car?
I found it from a guy who brought it in from the States I think he bought it in like 2005. And he just used to drive it around, go to car shows and stuff. And I always wanted a Nova because when I was a child, we used to go to the drag strip, and there was a guy who used to race a 72 Nova, and I just used to love it as a kid. So my dream was, I always wanted to have a Chevy Nova. And this thing came up for sale, and it was a street car, and I just had these ambitions to build it into, basically building it into a stocker, but I just did some bracket stuff, and it's kind of evolved from there, really.
All right, so the drag racing scene out in England, somewhat similar, like similar rules, similar classes?
Yeah, there's, it's really quite big. We actually only have one track now, but I mean, it's a really good track, Sandpod Raceway. It's all concrete, and we have all the super classes and a lot of bracket stuff. And we've been racing sort of bracket stuff for years, and kind of got into, I've always kind of been interested in stock, super stock, because it's just awesome, you know, they can make this stuff run, and just really kind of progressed my car into a legal stocker, and it's sort of gone from there, really.
Right, so they have Stock Eliminator out there? Or?
Not in England, no. We have, we just had the bracket stuff, but we have Nostalgia Super Stock, which is, again, is a bracket deal. But so we were going to Sweden to run NHRA Stock Super Stock, and first time I went there was 2012, and I just kind of got the bug from there, really. So.
Well, this is a pretty cool car, 396 cubic inch, 375 horse motor, and it looks like you're running the aluminum heads, and I see Tilburg's name on there. Tilburg's from Pennsylvania, which is the state I'm from, so it looks like the motor is being built by Brian Tilburg. How'd you get in contact with him?
Well, my first engine, when I first put the 396 in this car, I bought the engine from Sweden, a guy who had a Tilburg engine, and I bought the engine second used from him, and then I ran it for about a year. And I got in contact with Brian, and he did me another piece, and then I ran that, and then he did me another new engine, and we just built up a really good relationship. And he's a great guy, and he builds pretty much the fastest stuff out there. You know, he builds power.
I'm curious as to how much it costs to ship an engine from Pennsylvania all the way out to England.
It's not too bad, because my business, mine and my brother's business, we restore American cars, so we ship a lot of parts. We have like air freight like once every week, basically. And so we just stick it on air freight and ship it over.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so you're restoring American cars out there.
Yeah,
that's
we've
amazing.
got we've got a car shop and a body shop, and I've got an engine shop and a dyno shop.
Because the only two times I was in England, I was in London. I did not see one American muscle car in London.
Yeah, you were just in the wrong places.
So the number 8 on the window, 8608. Any number that starts with 8. Means that the driver is overseas, correct. So no traditional stock eliminator there. So if you do take this car out there, what do you run with it? Just brackets?
Yeah, well, the last few years we've been running in Comp Eliminator, where we run our NHRA index, and what they do is they hit us with 3, because we can go a second under to sort of even it up a little bit. They hit us with 3. So I'm currently, my other car, I'm down to, I think I've been hit so much to win the races, I'm down to 1046. So
right.
I'm hammering my index. But
right, so it's like the same thing in comp. If you go more than 6
yeah,
under,
it's the same deal. So it's under, when you're in eliminations, it's like 0.4, whichever it is under, you have to, then you get hit. So,
okay. All right, let's take a peek inside the car. Sure. What kind of transmission and torque converter?
I run a Jericho transmission.
Or torque converter. I'm saying torque converter. How about that? All right, Jericho 4-speed. And then what kind of clutch?
I've got a Black Magic clutch.
Black Magic, okay. And you got the 2-step button right there on the clutch pedal.
Yep.
Like
Which kind of works for me.
What kind of RPM are you turning with the car?
Around 8,000, depending on the weather, but it can be up to 8,000 RPM.
And what are you leaving at?
Leaving this weekend roughly between 54 and 56.
Okay. Now there are no factory seats in this Nova, but that's okay. And there's no rear seat. That's not required anymore as soon as you put a roll bar in. What size is that Black Magic clutch?
10 inch.
10 inch, okay.
Yep.
And then what's the fastest and what the quickest and fastest you've run with this car?
I went Gainesville 2020, I went 975, I went 1.19 under.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool in class.
What mile an hour?
I think I did 136 mile an hour.
That's fast.
So
okay.
it really, when I get it going, it really goes.
And the A stick index is
1095.
1095. So what's your minimum weight in A stick?
3370.
3370. All right. Not too heavy. What kind of rear?
Moser 12 bolt.
All right. What kind of gear ratio you run?
Running 513.
Okay. Can we take a look in the trunk here?
Sure. So I run 2 batteries on the car as well. So the battery there, battery in the front. And obviously a weight box.
Yeah, weight box there. Do you move around AA or B? Or?
No, I've not really tried. I kind of stick with because we have limited runs with the amount of runs I can actually do. I have to kind of stick with what I'm doing because I don't have the track time to try lots of stuff.
Right.
So,
if it's working, I guess you got to stick with it. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much.
Now, how are you doing in qualifying today?
Well, I think I qualified 75th, and then for the A stick deal, I think I'm qualified 3rd.
Now, how many cars are in the A stick?
I believe there's 6.
6. So we have an A stick shootout usually every year here at Indy. Tomorrow's class runoffs. Tomorrow is the day, the most exciting day in class racing.
And we get to let them loose.
Right, and we're looking forward to it. So now I see you got the single wheelie bar here. Who did the suspension setup on the car?
That's a Calvert single wheelie bar, and we're just it's kind of working for us, but it's a good piece, and it does help with traction.
Well, this car, when you got it in England, I'm sure it wasn't built up like this. So
no.
did somebody in England put the cage in and everything?
No, we did it all ourselves at our shop.
Excellent. All right. So as you said, you guys restore cars, and you can put cages in, and you.
Yes, sir.
Do you build race cars for people out there also?
We do. Yeah, we've currently got 2 Stock Eliminator cars that we're building out there for customers. So a 70 Chevelle, and there's a guy who's got a Pontiac as well that we're doing some stuff. So.
Okay. Now you can build engines too.
Yeah, I'll build engines. I build a lot of bracket stuff and street stuff, and I've got a Superflow dyno. But when we figured, because we've got such a good relationship with Brian, we just keep Brian doing our stuff because he's just, I don't have the years and the expertise that Brian has. So my brother's having a new engine built at the moment. So.
All right. Well, that's great. So we can't wait to see you tomorrow in the A stick shootout.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It'd be fun.
And we wish you luck. You are qualified in the 70th, 75th?
75th, yep.
All right, now that all can change tomorrow because class elimination round 1
counts as a
qualifying session, and that is a situation where everybody's really turning their cars up.
Oh, yes.
So it moves the bump spot up. There are 128 qualified cars. There were about 150 that showed up to the event. So now it is about 8/10 of a second under to get in. To be 128th qualifier requires about 8/10 of a second. Tomorrow, after class elimination round 1, it usually moves even higher.
Yeah.
It's about 80. I'm going to guess 85 hundredths to get in the show.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, Dan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
all the way
Bobby.
in from
I really
England.
appreciate it.
We wish you luck.
Great
we hope
to be
the
here.
trip is definitely worth it for you.
Thank you, buddy.